Hi, good evening, doctor. Guys, you have a doctor in the house.
Not that kind of doctor, as I was told.
Not that kind of doctor. We're just waiting.
Hope everyone's doing well this evening.
Yes, hope everyone is good. Hope you're good, Doc.
I am. I'm just sitting in the dark in Johannesburg. So.
Oh no! Do you have load shedding?
We do. It's supposed to come back a few hours back, but there's apparently some other problem. So.
Wow, that's Joburg for you, eh?
It's these things we have to put up with.
I'm telling you, we're just waiting for one more person to join us, and then we can get started. Guys, if you can hear us clearly, can you just give us another "oh yeah" in the comment section? Let's see. I think there's just a bit of trouble adding. Okay, there we go. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Sarah?
Just as nervous as you are, and almost a little technical glitch over here, but we'll just wipe it aside.
Yes, no, all good. We are all here. You know what they say, rather late than never. So,
True.
we're all here. I hope that you are good. Dr. Maasveld was saying that he's sitting in the dark, unfortunately, but he's here. I think that's all that kind of counts.
No, it's true. So I've got no load shedding tonight. So I'm all good.
Yes, that's good. Okay, so hi everyone again. I hope, like I said, that you guys had a good day. For those that have just joined us, my name is Jesse. I am the beauty editor. And tonight I am so privileged, so honored, and so excited to be joined by Stella, who is Squin's original founder, and she is also the brains behind the fabulous products and also formulations. So welcome, Stella. And then
Thank you very much.
we have Dr. Maasveld as well. He is from DNA Analysis, and they are leading and also global. So as I say, a global leader in the field of genetics and genetics testing, and they are also local, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right. Hence, I'm sitting in the dark in Johannesburg.
Yeah. So thank you so much to both of you for availing your time to kind of chat to us. I don't know if those that have joined us know what we've been waiting in anticipation for Stella to reveal to us. But Stella, I think without any further ado, can you please just let this genie out of the bottle and tell us what is this new product that Squin has just launched?
Okay, so it's a huge honor for Squin to launch a product called Skin Genie. It's an at-home skin DNA test, and we're launching it in collaboration with Danny and his superb team from D-Analysis. So it's a huge honor for us.
No, that sounds very interesting. I mean, genetics, it sounds a bit intense if you hear about it off the bat. So when I think of what you're saying, it sounds like the future of skincare. You know, it sounds like we're now really getting into the future of skincare. And that's quite something. Can you maybe just take us through the holistic approach of Squin and the approach that you have when it comes to your skin's health and everything that's involved in that?
So I think there's a huge drive towards feeling good and looking good. And if you want to achieve that, you need to drop the blinkers and understand that you have to have a 360 view. So there's a lot of stuff that impacts your skin. It is your nutrition, your lifestyle, and obviously genetics plays a huge part in it. I think skincare has been very static for very long, and we're going to see a huge change going forward. And obviously genetic testing, I believe, is the way we're going to go. So you can quote me on this in 10 years' time.
Wow, that's really interesting. So when you said that you're in collaboration with DNA analysis, so what made Squin decide to launch a DNA test? How did it help the brand? How does it work? That the two kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, so if you read on our website, you'll see that it's actually a very personal story, not only for myself, but for Tandy, our CEO also. So I did my genetic test the first time in 2018. Before that, I didn't even realize there was something called the genetic testing. It blew me away. And way back then, I already decided I wanted to share this journey with the Squin customers. Because how fantastic that you don't have to shoot around in the dark anymore. You can get your own genetic blueprint, and you can base your skincare choices on that. Not only are you going to save a lot of money from trying to find the right routine, but you almost get like a little peek in the future and to see what's going to happen to your skin. So it's changing skin from being we are fitting what is in the history, and you're going to be quite proactive going forward.
That's quite interesting, and I must admit that for me, I didn't know that DNA testing or genetic testing can actually be done for like uncovering your skin and your skin concerns. I think that a lot of us, when we're buying skincare, we're not thinking, oh, well, maybe it's a genetic, thing that we can't actually, get rid of, if I could call it that. So we kind of need to try to find products that work with our genetics. So I mean, now it makes sense why it's actually so important to do the test and to understand the genetics, so it makes it kind of easier to buy products. So, I mean, definitely the future of skincare and the way to go. So what does that mean for people to be able to do DNA testing for their skin?
So obviously what you're going to get if you do the DNA skin, the first thing that we must realize, it is actually mind-boggling that you can do this test at home. And the way science has catapulted ahead. So you do your test at home, and then you get a report, and you get a little sneak peek in your genetics. And you can use this genetic blueprint then to decide exactly what kind of skincare you should buy to feel good in the skin that you are in. So I've done this myself. I did my test in 2018, and I changed a lot of stuff. And I think that after 4 years of testing and trialing this process, I can really say it made a huge difference. Not only to my lifestyle, but also to my skin and hair and nails. So it's quite a multitasking way of looking at your skin, really.
Yeah, it's multi-faceted, multi-leveled. I think understanding that skincare is not just surface, it's actually beyond that surface kind of layer. So now, when we're talking about the collaboration, because obviously Squin cannot do this, all by themselves. I mean, you provide the product and the knowledge, but of course, you guys chose to collaborate with DNA analysis on this one. So what made it such a good fit for you guys to kind of, do this collab? What makes this partnership such a good fit?
So I actually did my test in 2018 with him. And then a year later, Tandy and I flew up and we met Danny. They've got everything that I like. They're extremely ethical, and they're on the cutting edge of genetic science. So for us, it's actually the perfect partnership. But I'll let Danny speak for himself because I'm only giving the Squin view on this side.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely let Danny give us his perspective on things. So I just have, my next question is with regard to how does it change, like I think maybe a lot of people have that question. I think for me also, I would want to know, how does doing this DNA analysis, this genetic testing, actually change things when you know your genetic inheritance?
You know what? I actually want to explain it like this, that your genetics is like a deck of cards. So you've received that from your parents. But remember, the way you play your game and the way you pair your cards can be the difference between winning the game or losing it. So you've got your genetics, but you can change the way you express it. And then lies the big secret of getting your genetic testing done, so that you understand what your genes are and how you can change the expression of that, so that you basically play a winning game with the deck of cards that you've received.
Wow, that's actually a really interesting approach, and I like how you actually simplified it, because when you think DNA, you think genetic testing or any kind of, scientific testing, it sounds very intimidating, so you make it sound very easy. So that's another thing, that it sounds really simple. How easy is it actually to do this test? You were mentioning you can do it at home, but can you maybe just take us through the process? So, obviously for those our audience that have joined us, they're going to purchase this product. So, what happens then from there? Can you maybe just take us through a bit of that process?
Yeah, so it's a little finger prick, and you collect a little bit of your precious blood, and then this is sent to D-analysis, and 3 weeks later you will receive a report. So it's as easy as that. It really is a very easy process, not very complicated. A lot of us has done testing like gluten-free, all those tests. If you've done it, it's more or less the same. It's a little finger prick, and off you go.
Okay, that sounds fairly easy. I think now we can get a bit more to the scientific side of things. Thanks so much, Stella. So now on to you, Danny. Since you said you're not that kind of doctor, so I think we can go with Danny on this one. I want to know, this is obviously a new thing, for DNA analysis. What excites you guys about this collaboration with Squin, and why have you guys actually to do this with them?
I mean, DNA analysis has been around for close to 15 years now, and the whole concept and principle of the tests that we offer is this idea of personalized interventions. So whether it's around weight management, whether it's for prescription medication management, or health and longevity, disease risk management, it's the concept that what works for one person won't necessarily work for another. We're all individuals, and it's our genetics that make us individuals. So we've been applying these tests across the health spectrum to a host of different areas for the last decade or 10 to 15 years. And the natural progression was then to start applying it into the skin space. The science is good. There's very, very good research showing the link between the genes that we look at and the areas of skin concerns that are covered by the test. And that's the basis on which we make these decisions, is that there has to be sufficient scientific evidence to justify a consumer test of this nature. So as the science evolves and we gain better understanding of the genetics and the biochemistry that underpins these skin concerns, so the opportunity arose upon meeting the team at Squin and realizing their like-minded approach to high levels of science and putting the scientific integrity at the top of what they do in terms of their product development. It became a very obvious partnership and a great collaboration.
Yeah, no, definitely. It sounds like, the perfect fit, especially I think if it's a personal need. So it's always, I think, good when you, like you said, Stella, you went for the genetic testing first and, it did wonders for you. So you knew that, you wanted to kind of take it to your audience as well. So I think it's always better if you kind of have experienced that yourself, and having the scientific aspect back everything up, it just adds so much more depth and value to it. So, I think also just for our viewers, our audience, Can you maybe just explain, Danny, the scientific side of what this kit actually entails? What would the results kind of look like once they receive that? What, in terms of being able to buy skincare products, okay, they will know now, specifically which targeted products they can go for. But what would the analysis kind of show them in terms of, their skin? How would that results look like, if I could put it that way?
Yeah. So I think it's important to mention that the test is going to tell you nothing about your skin. It's going to tell you about what the potential is for your skin to become. So we're not looking at your skin now and making a diagnosis on the health or the quality of your skin. That the team at Squin will do separately. But the genetics that we look at are the genetics that you're born with. And it shows the risk factors. It shows where you need to focus your priorities in terms of looking after your skin based on the specific risks that you have. So what we're covering in the test is things like skin elasticity, aging, skin damage due to sun and pollution exposure, risk for breakouts or hyperpigmentation. All of these things that you won't know that the risk exists until it manifests. But with the genetic test, you can understand in advance what that risk is and you can act preemptively. So a big part of all the tests that we offer is the sense of empowerment that we're given to the individual, because there's always something you can do with the information in order to reduce that genetic risk that you're carrying. And it's a question of knowledge being power. Once you have the knowledge about the risks that you have, you can act on that information. And with the product range that Squin have, you're given the tools to intervene in the most suitable and appropriate way for your particular skin.
No, that makes perfect sense. So I can understand when you say that it won't tell you about your skin, but it will go more of like, okay, is your collagen, production slower? Is that more what you're saying? So it helps you to identify what you kind of need to put in your skin, or, find products that help that. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Exactly.
Okay. So, this sounds really revolutionary and, also good for those to jump in kind of early, to prevent these things from happening instead of prolonging it, I would imagine. So I can understand how this test kind of assists, the audience in, or the consumers in, when buying products. So beforehand, they know that, okay, they, have these genetic kind of issues, if I could call it that. So these are the products that they can kind of start using. Is that also, am I in line? I'm trying to just understand, the other aspect of things.
Can I give you an example of what can happen? So we test, for example, collagen.
Yes.
And I tested that I'm slower to produce collagen and I'm faster to break down my collagen.
Okay.
And when I learned that, so that was a high priority for me. And when I learned that, I started consuming or drinking collagen.
Okay.
I've been drinking collagen for 3 years. So then you actually notice quite quickly that there's a change happening. You see it in your hair, you see it in your nails, and you see it in your skin.
Yeah.
So I wish I had that knowledge in my 20s. And I think I would have done a lot of stuff different then. So that's why it's so absolutely empowering. If you know in your 20s, when you've got perfect skin, that you're at a high risk for hyperpigmentation, then use your sunscreen, for example. If you've got a very low risk, then then it's a low priority. So it's not, knowledge is actually power. It's making your skincare extremely proactive. And I think therein lies the power of this new science and why I think it's going to change skincare so much.
No, Stella, your examples are actually really on point like that. Like I said earlier, you really just simplify things so that people can understand, why it actually is important. Because a lot of the time, a lot of people don't even, like you're talking about sunscreen, people don't even know that how important sunscreen is, all year round, not only when the sun is shining or when you're going to the beach to tan. So I think understanding, and I think that was really, what we wanted to bring across this evening, is to make our audience and your consumers understand why it's actually important to purchase, this product, how it will actually help them, not only for now, but down the line. And I mean, we have the opportunity, some of us being still in our 20s, to kind of prevent things that could happen in our 30s if we kind of, put in the work now. And because it's made easy, I think, we are a generation that don't like complications and a lot of processes and steps. And I mean, this test really, it sounds too good to be true almost, and with that, I want to actually back, just DNA analysis, the credibility. Danny, you were saying that the company's been around for 50 years. Am I correct in saying that 50 years? I mean, that's a half a century. It's, it's very,
15,
very...
15 years.
15. My apologies. It's still quite long, still very long. Can you maybe just share with us, a bit on the company's global footprint so that people can, also get a sense of, how credible and the integrity of this company, that it can be trusted, it is trusted, because I think a lot of people, when their blood samples and things are involved, they feel it's a bit sketch. So can you maybe just take us through, the company's global footprint?
Yeah, I mean, I started the company 15 years ago, and what I really wanted to make sure we did, because I came from a scientific research background, was always stay as close to the science as possible, even if it meant that we looked at fewer genes in our tests, or the reports were smaller. We weren't deviating from the science. We weren't extrapolating and giving information out to the public that wasn't absolutely verifiable and accurate. And I think it's that approach that's resonated with doctors all over the world. So we're now selling our tests in close to 80 countries around the world. Our DNA tests have been translated into 12 different languages. And we do training for healthcare practitioners all over the world. So we've had well over 5,000 practitioners go through our training program in order to become accredited to work with our tests. So, the education and support of the practitioners that work with our tests, the level of science that we put into the research and development of our products, I think it's something that separates us from a lot of other companies out there.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that goes without saying. You can definitely hear, by everything that you are saying. So my question to you is, how has it been working with Squin? This is obviously a first for both parties. What has the experience been like? What have you learned? Because I think sometimes, from the outside, we feel like scientists know everything, but how has it been, kind of from your side, working with Squin, working with the team, discovering new things? Because this is really, I feel, a breakthrough in the skincare industry, I think, for South Africa as well. So, to be on the forefront of that, I can just imagine, two local brands kind of coming together. It's a force to be reckoned with. So what is that experience like? Can you maybe take us through that?
Well, first of all,
you're only allowed to say good things now, Daddy. Not that it took us 3 years to get here. 3 long years.
It's been a long process, but I think it would have been a lot quicker had it not been for factors outside of our control. I think, like I said, it's been a great collaboration, and because we're very like-minded in our approach to research and product development, it's been a great experience. Often you might find that if the one team is very scientific in their approach and the other team are just salespeople and want to get it out into the market quicker, then you sort of butt heads in terms of how much research has to actually go into the product before it can go to market. Whereas in this case, both parties were completely aligned on the timing and the process. And I think the back and forth between Stella and her team and Helen and my team, I think they both learned a huge amount from each other. And like I said, it's been a great process.
No, that's great. I think especially when it comes to collaboration, a lot of people don't understand that it's exactly what that word says, a collaboration. two companies or two forces coming together. It's not, the one voice kind of overpowering the other one. So, I mean, you can definitely see that as well as, the product kind of, unravels. You can see that, it's a DNA of both brands, So, my question to either of you is, can you maybe explain to our audience what the process is once they, or Stella, maybe this is a question for you. How does Squin kind of come in after that DNA or the genetic testing gets done? So they buy the product and then, how does Squin come in? How does it kind of, go hand in hand? Can you maybe take them through that process, how this offering is actually really, really so different to anything else Squin has to offer, and why they should actually, tap into this?
Okay, I just want to, before I answer you, I want to backtrack to your previous question.
Sure.
And I just want to say that I think South Africa has got amazing talent, and that we tend to, as South Africans, to look, we look to the international brands to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. So I think this collaboration just shows the South African consumer that they don't have to look further than South Africa.
Yes.
To find really cutting-edge science, talent. I think it's just simply amazing for us as a South African brand to launch a product like this. To your next question, so once we receive the report back from the analysis, you're going to have a personal consultation where we actually go through the report, because it can be very overwhelming to see your own genes. It can be actually quite emotional for a lot of people, and then it becomes very interesting. So we'll have a personal consultation with you, go through the report so that you understand everything. You can ask as many questions as you want to, and then we will have a short consultation on what kind of products would suit your skin. And then from there, you can use this as a base. Hopefully, you can actually think of buying the kit to save money in the future.
Okay.
That's also quite a good way of looking at it, because we have all bought stuff and binned it because it didn't work for us.
Yes.
So we've all been there. We've got the dresses full of products standing there. So this is a way actually to spend a bit of money up front, and then hopefully actually have massive savings going down the line, and also be happy with your results.
Yeah.
People often feel that the products are failing them. Not only Squin's product, they're beauty products. I often hear people would phone me and say, the products are failing my skin. And I'm like, I think it's not perhaps the product, but it's because you're not using the right product. So, and I think this test can cut out that trial and error process going forward.
Definitely. No, I definitely agree with you. And I think sometimes, being the human beings that we are, we kind of, trust one brand to the other. Every brand will recommend, use this. And then we don't actually know, what is working, what is not working. And then sometimes you feel like your skin is actually failing you, not the actual product. And you kind of have to then go all the way back to square one. So I can definitely, relate to understanding that this DNA kit actually helps you in the long run. It's actually the answer to all of your skincare problems, needs. That's the way I feel, So in my understanding to what you're saying, Stella, in your consultation, you obviously will recommend the best Squin products. So you obviously have a big offering. So you will then recommend to your consumer what products are best suited for their skin type. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, so there is a difference. So the report itself is general on ingredients.
Okay.
It's a general report, so you can actually apply it to any brand. But in my personal consultation or in the Squin consultation, obviously we will refer to Squin products.
Of course. Okay. So the ingredients kind of help you on what to avoid and what to kind of go for depending on your skin's needs. Understood. So this kit, is it available? Is it not available yet? Where can we get it? Give us the details, please, Stella.
So here is the kit.
Okay.
I hope you can see it. And it is available on the website already. And I think there's a nice launch special also going for the first 20 consumers at home.
Please let us know what the special is.
Now you caught me out. No, I actually didn't check. I think I'm under correction now. I think you actually get 5,000 rands worth of products for free with the first 2 kits that we sell. But I am under correction. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No,
So if I'm
I checked that, Stella, that's correct.
and it's also shoppers,
For the first 20. First 20 people.
The first 20 shoppers. So
The first 20 people, I'm right.
yes, guys, for those of you that are on this live, I would suggest that you don't go off the live, but definitely afterwards go on squinskin.com and buy your kit. It is only, Stella, can you reveal to us the price if you know it out of your head?
No, I'm not sure either. I think it's $199. I'm not sure.
I think so too. I also didn't want to give the incorrect price,
Yeah.
but real steal. I mean, if I think about blood work, any kind of blood work that we do, if you pay out of pocket, how much are those are blood work tests? So I think that at-home kit, I think it's actually a real bargain. If I don't know, I'm not very knowledgeable in this kind of field, but Danny, I would think so, right? That this is actually a really good steal.
Look, the price of these tests has come down massively. So, yeah, I think the price is $1,999. And for what you're getting as a once-off test, so your DNA doesn't change. It's something that you only have to do once. It's a fantastic price. And like I said earlier, D-Analysis has a whole host of other reports. So if you do the DNA skin for that $1,999, you can at a later point add on and get additional reports from us at only 600 rands per report. So you can get the other test at a later time as budget and health concerns dictate, but you can order those other tests later without having to submit another sample.
Amazing. So for those that have maybe just joined or maybe didn't hear that, I mean, I feel like I really need to repeat what was said, that if you purchase this kit, right, which is at $1,999, at a later stage, you can do other testing with DNA analysis at only 600 Rand. So I think that is a real bargain. I mean, you're getting kind of everything if I think about it. So your skincare, health benefits, everything will kind of be sorted, if you make this one good move. I think that is so amazing. So I just want to include as well with that the first 20 shoppers, you get 5,000 Rand worth of targeted products tailored to your DNA. And then you also get a personal consultation with somebody from the Squin team. So, I mean, that is really like full circle. Like, I mean, that is everything that you need to kind of get started, I feel. Danny, Stella, is there anything else that you'd like to add to our audience? I think before we maybe just go to our audience and ask maybe 2 or 3 questions.
I think we've covered it.
No, I think that's it for now.
And then there was light, Danny.
Lots of it.
I think, okay, so if nothing from your side, I think we're just going to go and check maybe if our audience has any questions. So I see here they ask, is the test specific to any skincare? So I think that you already answered that. But maybe you can just, if there is anything else you'd like to elaborate on, Danny, you can maybe answer that with Stella.
So the results in the test is not specific to Squin. It's actually specific to you and ingredients, topical ingredients that we recommend, as well as ingestible ingredients. And so it's not specific to Squin. You can do the test, and then you've got the info you can buy from any brand. But we would love for you to buy from Squin, obviously.
Of course. I see a lot of people are saying Squin has been good to my skin, that they love Squin. So definitely people are loving the work that Squin is doing. Okay, then there's a question here. Danny, you can answer that. It says, what if I've already done my test with DNA analysis?
So if you've done a test with us recently, we might be able to pull that skin report for you. It would depend on when it's been done. So the best thing there would be to contact D-Analysis just with your name, and we'll be able to tell you based on when the test was done whether we can pull that report for you.
Okay, perfect. So I hope that helped, that you can definitely contact them. You can even follow them on Instagram. I'm sure you can get more information there. There was a question to ask, is it only available for people that reside in South Africa? I think that's a good one.
So like I said earlier, we do have global distribution. So, I think probably, as Stella, I'm speaking for you here, I'm guessing that your shop is largely set up to facilitate local sales, but we could probably assist in getting the kit to somebody outside of South Africa if there was interest.
Okay, so it definitely can be arranged. Some people are saying that it's really changing the face of skincare, what you guys have actually done. I really do agree with that. You guys really have broken barriers here in the skincare industry. People are also proud to be South African, so they should support South African products. It's saying best collab ever. So that's also good to hear. So someone's also saying that they would like to be one of the first to experience this DNA skin test. So people look like they're very excited. That is all the questions that I see. I'm trying to scroll up and up and up. Just to see if there's anything I didn't want to miss. So somebody asked here, does this mean you may go to the stem cell route? I'm not sure, Danny, if that makes sense to you.
No, I'm not sure what they're referring to there. Might need some more information.
Okay.
And I can answer from Squin's side if I don't think we're going to go any stem cell route in our products, if that's the question.
Okay. I think if you have any questions, you can maybe just DM them. I'm sure if you guys wouldn't mind that, if there's anything else. But I think you guys would answer all of those questions in the one-on-one consultation that you will be having. So definitely, guys, again, for those of you that have just joined, go on to squinskin.com, buy your DNA skin analysis test. You'll be first 20 people will receive 5,000 rands worth of product. 5,000 rand in products, guys. That is like liquid gold, I would say. So definitely, hop on. And we are so excited, for this revolutionary breakthrough that has just, come up. I'm so excited to do my test as well. And on behalf of Glamour, we would just like to thank you, Stella and Danny, for taking the time again to chat to us about, this test, the skin test. And we hope that South Africa and, the rest of the world is also excited for what you guys have to come, what is to come.
Thank you very much for a lovely opportunity for us to chat about something that I think is very exciting for us.
Yes, no, definitely. Any last words, Danny?
Thanks so much to everybody for joining. I think it's really an exciting new step forward in bringing genetic testing to consumers, and it was great to have you all with us this evening.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much to everyone that has taken the time out to join us on this live and that participated. We had people from all over the world. People were sending us kisses and love from Brazil and from London. So it's always lovely to have everybody here. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Be safe and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.